like meetings that kind of are like the same thing, but also different, right? But also very, very different. But in this next topic, Tesla agrees, or Elon just agreed, that Tesla will start to do some sort of advertising. I'll show you exactly what happened during the annual shareholder meeting. And it's kind of interesting because shout out to Meet Kevin. He basically convinced Elon to dabble in some advertising. So let me know what type of advertising or commercials would you like to see from Tesla to actually roll out, and also which platforms, because if Tesla just starts to advertise on Twitter, which I'm pretty sure that might actually happen because Elon now owns Twitter and you kind of be one hand feeding the other. It'll be definitely interesting to see what type of mediums that Tesla will actually start to advertise on it. But before we get into that, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And so let us get into this. So shout out to Meet Kevin, a avid financial YouTuber, does a lot of live streams as well. But this is actually what happened during the annual shareholder meeting, in which he actually was able to ask a question to Elon, and Elon responded.
Ticker PP, and that's for pricing power.
Right.
And I'm curious, I really think that some of the features that you highlighted here, like the over-the-air airbag deployments of improving features, the safety features, are great things that we could be advertising. I know you've heard this many times before. I know you have. But
Sorry, go ahead, yeah.
$525 off every car this year is half a Netflix's advertising budget. $1,000 is the entire Netflix advertising budget, and I see their ads everywhere. Why not advertise these things that you told us here? I feel like nobody else knows about this. I just talked to Gordo, the Tesla bear, and he's still talking about 2016 New York Times pieces. These people are in the past, man.
That's like 7 years ago at this point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's actually, I talk to a lot of people and they still think that like Teslas are like super expensive. And like, no, actually the starting price for a Tesla is below the average auto price in the US. It's like,
But the financing payment for a Tesla is definitely above the average. I still talk to people today that probably they want a monthly payment for a Tesla to be like $400 to $500 a month, and they're just sticker shocked when it's $800, $900, maybe even $1,000 a month. And so, you know, we would all love Teslas in the $400 to $500 a month. I mean, I remember when I first bought our Model 3 Performance Stealth, I was hoping to be in that $500 to $600 a month. And of course, it was initially a $900 a month payment. And I don't believe I've ever had a monthly payment of above $800, not even above $700. So that was definitely a sticker shock for a Model 3, which was back then like a $50,000 car, to have a $900 a month payment. But it's kind of the norm now, especially with all these increases of prices of vehicles. The average vehicle is now $47,000. I feel like a lot of people are used to like a $900 to $1,000 a month payment. And when you factor in gas savings, no maintenance savings, of course, higher insurance costs, all that and this, that, and the other, it definitely makes sense at the end of the day. It pencils if you drive a lot of miles with a Tesla.
it's like, and that's a good thing. I mean, I think it's good that it's that way, you know, like our goal was always to make cars that are affordable to the general public. So I hear you. I mean, I think, and it's indeed ironic that, you know, Twitter is like highly dependent on advertising. So, you know, here I am, it's like, you know, never used advertising really before, and now have a company that's highly dependent on advertising. So I guess I should say advertising is awesome and everyone should do it.
So Elon hates advertising, I guess.
I think I hear your sort of larger point, which is that there are amazing.
Why is the screen like half cutting him off?
About Teslas that people just don't know about, so yeah. And although there's obviously a lot of people that follow, like say the Tesla account and the you know, my account, whatever, on Twitter, to some degree it is preaching to the choir, and the choir is already convinced. So I think what you're saying does have some merit, and you know what, I believe in taking suggestions. So we'll try a little advertising and see how it goes.
So what's pretty surprising here is a lot of people was celebrating that. A lot of people clapped and all that stuff because I feel like the narrative on Twitter, at least from what I see from Tesla people that post, is that Tesla doesn't need advertising because they've already got so much brand recognition of the logo, the brand name, and everything like that. But I'm wondering if Tesla will take an angle of a more affordability aspect of it, and how Tesla vehicles, yes, they're more expensive. Yes, it's a higher monthly payment, but with all the different factors in, with maintenance, gas savings, and all these other things, it is actually more affordable and actually even more reliable in some of the stuff that they've talked about in the investor day and all these things that they posted on Twitter. And so that can certainly make a lot more sense for people to buy Teslas. And so, of course, shout out to Sorry Merit for posting this. Breaking: Elon Musk says Tesla will try a little bit of advertising and see how it goes. So, of course, hopefully it's not just Twitter advertising, maybe some other mediums, other platforms out there, which will hopefully have more reach, because that would be a lot more interesting. But it will be interesting to see what type of car ads they actually do, because all the other automotive manufacturers and legacy automotive companies advertise on other platforms. And so here's a shout out to Electric for posting it. Tesla's going to try advertising, says Elon Musk, who, quote, hates it. So look, this is a tweet from 2019 that Elon says, "I hate advertising." So funnily enough, that's what's gonna happen. But let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what you're thinking. What type of ads do you want Tesla to put out there, and what type of education or some quick nick tidbits that they can put out there? And of course, what platforms do you think Tesla is going to advertise on? Most likely Twitter first, because then one hand feeds the other for Elon, and it's all a good ecosystem. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. But we're gonna jump into the next topic. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description is a Patreon link where you support the channel, and there's a variety of benefits, but some of them include actually scheduling a call with me, where you can ask me any questions about buying a Tesla, selling a Tesla, or even financing a Tesla. And after you join the Patreon, you get a link to my buying guide, which has links to all the resources that I use to get the best possible deal at the best possible price, including credit unions and banks on that list that all have interest rates lower than Tesla financing, lower than Tesla's 5.59%, some even as low as 3.7 to 2.99%. So definitely check it out. Patreon link down below in the description.